Hello, this is Matthew Robert Payne. I just watched a speech that Donald Trump made, an address Donald Trump made, and people are really happy with it. He really does sound like a Christian by the way he speaks, but he's not a Christian. He's not a born again Christian. He doesn't even understand what the term born again means. I fail to understand how he can have so many religious leaders around him and a pack that hangs around him and has got a special purpose of bringing faith to the White House. I don't know how he can hang around influential people of God and not know what born again is. But if you need to be born again, to go to heaven, which I don't believe. But if you need to be born again to go to heaven, Donald Trump wouldn't be going there. I personally believe God judges everyone by their hearts and by their conscience. And I personally believe if you qualify as a sheep, in the sheep and the goats parable, if you feed the hungry and give drink to the thirsty and clothe the people without clothes and do good to people and loving towards people, I believe, like Jesus says, you'll have an eternal future in heaven. So I don't believe like most Christians believe that you need to say one paragraph sinner's prayer to go to heaven. I believe that even though Donald Trump is not a born again Christian and doesn't confess to be, I believe that he's got a good enough heart to end up in heaven himself. So Donald Trump is not a born again Christian, and he could very well. He's too old. He's too old to be the Antichrist. But the way he's doing peace treaties and stuff, he's almost positioned himself as the Antichrist. So there's a lot of people, a lot of deceitful people in pulpits. There's a lot of people preaching God's truth that aren't God's people. And there's a lot of deceivers and false prophets and false teachers in the world, and they deceive many. Just like Jesus said in Matthew 24, he predicted there'd be many false teachers and false Christs, and Donald isn't a false teacher or a false preacher, but he certainly plays an act and plays things up to Christians. Well, certainly his speechwriter does. So um, please be aware when you hear Donald speak. Mostly the words he does in an address, the words of his speechwriter, and they're crafting words to make him sound Christian. Donald Trump is not a Christian. God bless.